A Father's Love, The Only Way He Knew How, is a song that I wrote with my good friends Steve Williams and Liz Hengber. And it was recorded by Bucky Covington, and it was a top 25 hit. We're the songwriters. Hey y'all, I'm here in Nashville today on Percy Priest Lake with my good buddy Steve Williams.
Hello everyone.
We've written a lot of songs together.
Yeah, a lot of good ones. We used to write together constantly.
All the time. Yeah. I have to say, my favorite songs I've written, I think I've written with you.
You know what? The first song we ever wrote together, we got cut by Blake Shelton.
That's right. It was called Life Ain't Fair.
I love that song.
And Blake Shelton cut it, and then they cut it from the album.
That's right.
Dang.
Hey, but you know what? Here's a cool story. I was out here on the lake when I was on Captain Ron's houseboat. And I got a call. I had one of those flip-top cell phones back in the day. God, I can't remember what year this was. It was Bobby.
Bobby Braddock.
Thank you, Bobby Braddock. Yeah. Bobby Braddock wrote "He Stopped Loving Her." He was produced.
Right. He was producing Blake Shelton at the time.
Blake Shelton. Anyway, I said hello. He says, "Is this Steve Williams?" I said, "Yes, sir, it is." He goes, "This is Bobby Braddock," and I was going humming.
Yeah.
He goes, "Did you write a song called Life Ain't Fair?" I said, "Yes, sir, I did." He goes, "Well, we're going to record that on Blake Shelton." He said, "We need a lyric. We're down here at SIR. We're rehearsing." And he said, "Can you get a lyric to us?" And in those days, you had to fax something,
right,
you know.
I remember.
I said, "Yes, sir." So I hopped on somebody's speedboat and got back to the marina and drove 11 miles back to my house and got on the fax machine, sent them to... Everything worked out. They cut the song, you know. But I was like, wow. So anyway, that's another lake story for you.
Yeah. Well, we wrote a lot of songs out here. I remember we wrote Country Squire on your old pontoon boat, I think. We wrote Sand in Her Shoes just across from the marina here in your neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And O'Reilly Luck, I think we wrote that one on Music Row. But... we've written a lot of tunes. Peer Pressure, that's another song about the glorious Elm Hill Marina, which is the home of the Redneck Yacht Club, which was our first #1 together.
That's right, yeah.
So a few years later, we wrote a song with our good buddy Liz Hengber. And I remember that day we got together and we were working on this other song about how couples, there's someone for everyone, even... the nerd couples find each other or whatever, I don't even remember. It was just going nowhere. It was a stupid idea, and we were just getting nowhere. So I remember we went to lunch, and I think Liz was telling us a story about going shopping at the Home Depot with her dad, or something, and he was trying to get her to shoplift a screw from the Home Depot, and she's like, "No, Dad." He goes, "It's less than a penny. Just go over there. I'll put it in my pocket." She's like, "No, Dad, that's shoplifting." Yeah. And we were laughing about our dads and talking about them, and I think you said the title to the song.
No, actually Liz did. I'll never forget. She was sitting in the back seat. We were going to lunch, and she said, "Hey guys, what about an idea for a song about a father that couldn't say the words 'I love you,' but he showed it in so many ways?" And I was going like 20 miles an hour, and I wanted to run off the road. I said, "That's my dad," and you did too. He said, "My God, that's my dad." I said, "What a great idea." I said, "Our job is to not mess it up."
That's right. And that's why Liz Hengber has 50 songs recorded by Reba McEntire. She has great ideas.
Exactly, yeah.
We love Liz. She's awesome.
Yeah, so it turned out to be all of our dads,
Yeah.
Well, just because back in those days, I don't know about you, but my dad was a World War II guy, John Wayne kind of.
Yeah.
Just couldn't muster up the words "I love you," and it was hard, and you never let them see you cry, son.
Yeah, I think they wanted us to grow up and be tough.
Yeah.
So they felt like they had to be that way with us, maybe. But my dad was kind of that way. He never really said it. He never really said "I love you" much. So later in life he did, but when we were younger, he never did. Like other people's parents would say it, and I'd be like, "I don't." But but I knew he did because of all the stuff he did for us. There was no doubt in my mind that he did. But just saying the words was something that he didn't really do.
Well, the way this song came together, I remember we were writing at Blacktop. And it just kind of fell together like all the good songs usually do. They just kind of all the pieces of the puzzle fit right into place.
Yeah. The bridge part where we talk about, last week we gathered for his 65th birthday. I mean, I had just been home for my dad's 65th birthday.
Yeah.
When we wrote that line, and shortly after that, he got diagnosed with the brain tumor.
Wow.
And so he only lived 2 months after that.
Wow.
So I never played him this song because by the time we had it finished, he was starting to get kind of confused because of his brain tumor, and I didn't want him to take it wrong.
Yeah.
So he never got to hear this song.
Yeah, I could see how it could go either way. It could really depress him, or
Right. I didn't want him to take it wrong, but I mean, the point of the song is he was saying "I love you" the only way he knew how, and not by saying it, but by showing it, which he did in spades.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
so will you play the song today, Steve?
I'd be honored to do this song. I do it all the time in my writer show. In fact, if I don't do this song, I feel like I've not done my best material, So, and invariably, when I play this song, we're asking for a box of Kleenex,
It's true. Another thing about this song, I have a friend named Gina down in Florida, and she told me that her dad and her brother were estranged for years. Like when they would have a family get together, the dad would say, "Well, is he coming? If he's coming, I'm not coming." And the son would say the same thing. "I'm not going if Dad's there."
Yeah.
So she told me that one day she sat them both down and played our song for them, and they patched things up.
Wow.
And things are good now between them. So
that's great.
It's amazing that the power of a song. We have no idea when we sit down as songwriters. We have no idea what our song's going to do for somebody. We just hope somebody likes it. But when it brings together a family like that, it's
I can't tell you
amazing.
How many times I've been at the Bluebird or wherever and have had people come up to me and say, "God, that's my dad. Were you spying on us?"
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It's true.
just saying about my life,
It's true.
And so anyway, it goes like this. For the longest time, I guess I thought you didn't give a damn. Hard to read, hard to please, yeah, that was my old man. On the day I left for college, it was nothing new. We never had that heart-to-heart, you had too much to do. You checked the air in my tires, the belts and all the spark plug wires. You said, "When the hell's the last time you had this oil changed?" And as I pulled out the drive, he said, "Be sure and call your mom sometime." And I didn't hear it then, but I hear it now. He was saying, "I love you," the only way he knew how. 120,000 miles or 6 years down the road. Brand new life, brand new wife. We just bought our first home. And when he finally came to visit, I thought he'd be so proud. But he never said he liked the place, he just got his tool belt out. Put new locks on the doors, went back and forth to the hardware store. He said, "Come and hold this flashlight," as he crawled beneath the sink. "These old wires ain't up to code, and that circuit box is gonna overload." And I didn't hear it then, but I hear it now. He was saying, "I love you," the only way he knew how. That Sunday we all gathered for his 65th birthday. I knew he'd stiffened up, but I hugged him anyway. When it was finally time to say goodbye, I knew what was next, just like he always does right before we left. He checked the air in my tires, the belts and all the spark plug wires. He said, "When the hell's the last time you had this oil changed?" And as we pulled out the drive, he said, "Be sure and call your mom sometime." And I wish I knew back then what I know now. He was saying, "I love you." He was saying, "I love you," the only way he knew how.
Now that song has been recorded by Bucky Covington. A group named High Valley recorded it, and we got a Gospel Music Association award in Canada for Video of the Year and Song of the Year. We're very proud of that. It was also recorded by a guy named Eric Stromer from HDTV. He was the first guy that recorded that song. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about this song and maybe other songs that have affected you or your family or touched you in some way. And if you want to learn more about writing songs and taking your songs to the next level, then be sure to visit ThomShepard.com. And we'll see you next time. We're the songwriters.